So do you remember where we stopped yesterday? Anyone? Do you remember where we stopped yesterday? We did two problems, isn't it? Two proofs were done, isn't it? I'll share my screen now. Can you see the screen? Hello, can you see the screen? Okay, Arjun. Okay. So I think we did this question yesterday, simplify. That was your second question, isn't it? So write down the third question. Write down the third question. Show that P implies Q implies R is logically equivalent to P and Q implies R without using truth table. So this is the third question. Write it in your note. Take your note and write it down. Question 3, tomorrow I'll be checking your notes. Question 3, show that P implies Q implies R in brackets. Q implies R is in brackets. Is logically equivalent to P and Q implies R without using truth table. So what does this mean? You have to show that P implies Q implies R is logically equivalent to this RHS, that is P and Q implies R, and you should not use truth table. So you have to start from the LHS and using logical rules of logic, you have to derive the RHS. Is it clear? So you have to take the LHS, the left hand side, write it down. LHS is P implies Q implies R. From there, we have to apply the rules of logic and find out that this part, this proposed compound proposition is similar to the RHS. Okay. Is it clear? Is it clear? So this is RHS. You have to prove that it is okay, you have to prove that this LHS is equal to RHS. Okay, is it clear? Did you write it down? Okay, now let us see how it can be done. Can anyone do it? Are you able to do it? Can anyone do it? So see, you have LHS. LHS as P implies Q implies R. Okay, now in first step, what you should do is, what is the first step? How will you change this implication? What is the first step? How will you change implication? How will you change implication? Hello? Anyone? How will you change this implication? Nobody knows? What is the formula to change the implication? You can type in chat box. How will you change this implication? Are you listening to what I'm saying? I'm not getting any response from your side. Are you listening to what I'm saying? Hello? Are you listening to what I'm saying? Okay, then how will you change this implication? management? How will you change this implication? What will be the next step? You have to change the first implication. The first implication is P implies Q. So you can P implies Q is logically equivalent to what? P implies Q is logically equivalent to not P or Q, isn't it? Using this formula, I can change the first implication. This is P and this entire thing is Q. So P implies Q is logically equivalent to not P or Q, isn't it? This is your first step. Is it clear? Now going to second step. Again, you have one more implication. So first, whenever there is implication, you have to change the implication. So applying the same formula to the next part, you have not P or P implies Q. Q implies R is logically equivalent to not Q or R. Okay, is it clear? So for these two, we had applied this property P implies Q is logically equivalent to not P or Q. Okay, now what is the third step? Third step. See, both are disjunctions, okay? So we can combine the two. We can do it in any order. So this bracket can be removed and I can combine not Q with not P. So not P or not Q or R. Okay, next step. Not P or and not Q or R. And then next fourth step, this not P or not Q is the same as not of P or Q. Okay. Not P or not Q is the same as not of P or Q or R. Problem with this pen. Did you understand so much? Did you understand this much? Hello. Can you hear me? Okay, Ajal. So I had written 4 steps. Is it clear to you? So the fourth step was not P or not Q. I've combined, I've changed the bracket or R. Now the fifth step. Now this not of P or Q can be written in De Morgan's law as not of P and Q. Isn't it? This is same. This is De Morgan's law. That is not of P and Q means not P or not Q. So I am applying De Morgan's law to step 4 to get this form, and the remaining part is written down. Okay. So this is of the form not P or Q, which is the same as P implies Q. So the sixth step, this is P and Q implies R. So this fifth step, when you expand this P and Q implies R, you get the fifth step. That is not of P and Q or R. Is it clear? This is from the formula P implies Q is logically equivalent to not P or Q. Is it clear? Any doubts? Hello? Any doubts? See, these are the steps. This is how we solved it now. P implies Q. We applied the implication rule, then the associative law. After that, we applied De Morgan's law. Then again the implication rule again to get the RHS. Okay. This RHS was obtained from the left-hand side. Is it clear? Is that question clear to you? Hello? Anurag? Is it clear? Okay, so write down the steps, okay? Write down fast. Then next, moving on to the next question. Shall I move on to the next question? Hello. Alvin, Anjita, is it clear to you what I have done now? Anujit. Okay. So write down the next question, fourth question. Okay, Alvin. Write down the next question, fourth question. Without using truth table, prove that. Without using truth table, prove that P or not P or Q and P and Q is logically equivalent to P and Q. Okay, prove that without using truth table, prove that not of P or Q and P and Q is logically equivalent to P and Q. So, how you do this? This, which is the LHS? This part is the LHS. Okay, this part is the LHS. This is LHS, and this is the right hand side. Okay, so I have to prove that the starting from LHS, you have to prove that it is equal to RHS. Is it clear? Is it clear? So write down the left hand side first, because we are starting from the left hand side, and then we are going to prove that it is equal to the RHS, and that is P and Q. Okay. Is it clear? Is it clear to you? Did you write the question? Did you write down the question? Okay, Akshara. Then, moving on to the first step. That is, I had written the LHS here. From this LHS, we have to reach the RHS. Okay, I had written down the LHS here. And starting from LHS, I have to reach the left-hand side, the RHS. So, what are the rules that we apply to this formula in order to derive the RHS? See, first of all, you can see that this here you can see that P is a common term, and both the connectors are conjunctions. So using associative law, you can group P and P together. Okay, so like that in the second step, the first part is left as such, and in the second part P and Q is written as P and Q using associative law. Isn't it? This bracket has been removed. We have applied association law to this part, and we had grouped P, the two P's together to get this part. And here we have applied the associative law. So now, did you understand what I had written? First part is left as such, and in the second part, this P and Q has been rewritten using associative law. That is, instead of P and Q, I group for the two P's together, because and is A into B into C is the same as A into B into C. That property is applied here. That is called associative law. Okay. Anybody has doubt in this section? Anybody has doubt in this first step? Anybody has doubt? Did you write down that line? Then, moving on to the second step. What is, now we have to solve the first step, isn't it? Now, what is P and P? What is P and P? What is P and P? Anyone? We have that law, you had written the laws yesterday, isn't it? What is Isha? Very good. P and P is P. So I can, using that law is called idempotent law, isn't it? So P and P is P. So in the next step, I had solved this P and P, I had written it as P. And then the and Q is written as such. So I had applied idempotent law in the second step. Okay. Now, in the third step, what are we going to do in the third step? This is the third step. I again applied associative law here. I had again applied associative law. And I had grouped this part. This part was grouped with this P. So, applying associative law, I had grouped this P with a knot of P or Q. So, since both are disjunctions, I can change the order of evaluation. So, not of P or Q and P, then the remaining R Q is written here. So, I grouped the P here along with this part. And now that the law that I had applied is associative law. Next, now here I am going to apply distributive law. In third step, I am going to apply distributive law to get the fourth step. Okay. I'm going to apply distributive law here. What is P and not P or Q? That is of the form P and P or Q. It is equivalent to P and P, isn't it? P and here the P is not P. So P and not P or P and Q. So here we had applied distributive law here to expand this. Okay, P and not P or Q can be written as P and not P or P and Q. So that is distributive law. And we had written the not Q as such here. Isn't it? That is distributive law. Now, next, the fifth step. This is the fifth step. And in the fifth step, we can solve this part, isn't it? What is P and not P? What is P and not P? What is P and not P, Anurag? What is P and not P? False, yes. So P and not P can be solved, and I have written false here, and the remaining OR, and then P and Q, etc. And the remaining not Q is written. And we had applied complement law. P and not P is false, that is complement law in step 5. Isn't it? We had applied complement law to step 4 to get step 5. Okay. Now, the next step, step 6. How can you solve? How will you solve step 6? You have to apply, you have to go to step 5 and solve. How will you solve? P or F? What is P or F? What is P or F? What is P or F? Anyone? What is the formula for P or F? SP, very good. P or F is P. So this is here the P is P and Q or F. So here this the P is P and Q or F, you get P or P gives this P itself, and here the P is P and Q, and this and Q is written here. Okay, this and Q is written as such here. So you get P and Q, and we had applied identity law. P or F gives P is called identity law. Okay, and now we are going to next step, step 7. We have to get step 7 from step 6. Now, how will you, for which law can you apply here? Here, see, both are conjunctions, so I can apply associative law. Okay, and group this Q with this Q. So P and the same, this can also be written as P and Q and Q. So I have grouped this Q with the next Q. So I get P and Q, and that is associative law. Okay, is it clear? P and Q can be grouped. Here the grouping is between P and Q. I can group this Q with the last Q so that as according to associative law it is same. So P and Q. Now what is Q and Q? What is Q and Q? Q, very good. Q and Q is Q, and that is idempotent law. So you get P and Q, and which is equal to the RHS, isn't it? Is it clear? Is it clear? Any doubt? So we have started from this left hand side, and we had reached the right hand side. Okay. Is it clear? Is it clear to you? Any doubts? If you have any doubts, you can ask. Do you have any doubt? Ashwin, any doubt in this question? Any doubt? Okay. So now let us move on to the next question. Did you write it down? Punyam, did you write it down? Did all of you write down the question along with the answer? Okay, Adarsh, okay. Okay, Ajay. Okay, Anurag. Why girls are not responding today? Now let us move on to the next question, and this I will give you as a homework. Let me see who will solve this question. Okay. Now, moving on to the next one. Write down the question. Negate and simplify the following compound proposition. Negate and simplify. Very simple. I think you can do it by yourself. Negate and simplify the following compound proposition. Write down the sixth question. Negate and simplify the following compound proposition. So I think your question number is 5 now. Okay, question number 5. Negate and simplify the following compound propositions. Did you write the question? Did you write this question? I'll give you 1 minute. Please solve and give me the answer. I'll call out one name. You have to give me the answer. Negate and simplify the following compound proposition. I will give you just 1 minute. You have to solve it. It is very easy. I think I have done it earlier. And you have to give me the answer. Come on first. Negate and simplify the following compound proposition. P or Q implies R. Solve this. Did you get the answer? Rajat, give me the answer. Rajat. So I'll be marking absent for those who are not responding, okay?
Ma'am, चाहिए.
Rajat, what is the answer?
Ma'am, चाहिए.
Did you get the answer?
No.
Type in chat box. Hello. What does P of Q implies R? Nainika, what is the answer? Nainika, what is the answer to P of Q implies R?
I'm doing.
Huh? What is the answer?
I'm doing only.
I can't hear you. Your voice is breaking. Just type in the chat box. Anurag, what is the answer? Anurag, what is the answer? Did you solve this? Hello. Anjita, what is the answer? What is the answer to this P or Q implies R? Isha,
Yes, ma'am.
what is the answer?
Ma'am, P or Q or and not R.
Very good, very good. P or Q and not R. The answer is P or Q and not R. Okay. The answer to this is P or Q and not R. How many got this answer? How many of you got this answer? How did you solve this? How will you solve this? P or Q implies R? This, first of all, you have to eliminate implication. Whenever there is implication, you have to eliminate implication and you will get not of, not P or Q or R, isn't it? Then you have to expand it using De Morgan's law. Not of not P or Q or R becomes not of not P or Q and not R. Now, not of double negation, applying double negation law, you get P or Q and not R. So this is the answer. Okay. In 3 steps, you will get the answer. Is it clear? Is it clear? Hello? Okay. So, it is given in notes also. The law is, first you have to apply implication law, then you have to apply De Morgan's law, finally apply the double negation law to eliminate this double negation. Okay, eliminate double negation and then finally you get the answer. Okay, is it clear? Now, going to the next question. Prove the following implication without using truth table. Write down the next question, that is your 6th question. Prove the following implication without using truth table. Prove the following implication without using truth table. So, here see, look at this symbol here. This means it logically implies, isn't it? We had studied it earlier. That the double arrow indicates that the left-hand side logically implies the right-hand side. So to prove that the left-hand side logically implies the right-hand side, you can also prove that A implies B is a tautology. We had written earlier to prove that two logical propositions are logically equivalent. We can also prove that A implies B is a tautology. Okay, we can prove that A implies B is a tautology. So write down the question. Write down the question. So what you have to do is, this is the entire question. So this is A, the left hand side of this logical equivalence is A, right hand side is taken as B. So you have to prove that A implies B is a tautology. So write A first, then write the implication symbol, and then write B. You have to, finally what you have to reach here is, you have to prove that it is a tautology. What is tautology? What do you mean by tautology? You have to prove that at the end it will turn out to be true. Okay, you have to prove that in the end this will turn out to be true. Is it clear? Is it clear? So how will we do it? These are the steps. That is A implies B. Here we had written A part implies B, and now P or not P implies Q. What is P or not P? P or not P is T implies Q implies, again here also we have P or not P. That is written as T. P or not P is true implies R. The entire thing. This is the A part and LHS. On the right hand side here Q implies R. Okay. Then next, you have eliminated we can eliminate this implication here to get not P or Q implies not P or R. Okay, it implies Q implies R. And in the next step, not T or Q. What is not T? Not T means not true means F. Not T means false or Q implies here not T means false or R. Again it implies the RHS, Q implies R. Then F or Q. In the next step we have F or Q. F or Q is Q itself. Okay, F or Q is Q and Q implies F or R is R. So Q implies R. F or Q is Q. F or Q is Q and this F or R is turned to be R. Implies Q implies R is written as such. Then Q implies R in the next step can be written as A implies B is equivalent to not A or B. So here we can write it as not Q or R implies not Q. This implication again changes to not Q or R. So in the next step, A implies B is equivalent to not A or B. So not Q or R or not Q or R. So not this becomes this is of the form not A or B. Okay. Here not A or A and not A or A is always true. So we have get using complement law. Consider the entire thing as A, and this is also the same A, isn't it? So not A or A is true. Did you understand what it is? Did you understand the question? Hello? This was the question given to us. We have to prove that A is logically equivalent to B. And to prove that A is logically equivalent to B, we can also prove that A implies B is a tautology. So there is a difference between this question and previous questions. To prove that A is logically equivalent to B, you can prove that A implies B is a tautology. Okay, so this part is A. The left part of the implication is A and this is B. So to prove that these two are logically equivalent, we need to prove that A implies B is a tautology. So write this A part first and implies the next part B. So this is the first step. We have written that A, we have to prove that it is a tautology. So here from the question itself we can see that P or not P is T. And so this part can be reduced to T in the second step. And the remaining is written as a, so you get T implies Q implies again P or not P is can be written as T, isn't it? Then that is the inverse law. You are applying inverse law. Then the R is also written as such, and this part there is no change in this part. Again, T implies Q can be removing the implication we get not T or Q. Isn't it? T implies Q can be written as not T or Q. Again, this implication is here. Again, T implies R can be written as not T or R, and then there's no change in the next part. Okay. Then, not T means not true means false. So, not T can be written as F. So if this becomes F or Q implies, again here also there is not T, so it can be written as F or R. Implies this section is again written the same way. Q implies R, there is no change. Next we have in the next step, F or Q, false or Q. F or Q is Q. Implies F or R is R. So Q, this part becomes Q, F or Q becomes Q, and this F or R becomes R. And so this becomes the entire thing from here till here. It becomes Q implies R. Implies the next part, Q implies R. Okay. So implication, we can change the implication and convert it into this form, that is Q implies R is equivalent to not Q or R. This is also the same as not Q or R. Okay. So in the next step, finally, we can convert the middle implication, and this implication can be converted. This middle implication can be converted using A implies B formula. This becomes not A or B. That is, here the A, both A are the same. So you get not A or A. Then A is not Q or R, isn't it? Not Q or R. And here we have not A. This is one. This is a compound proposition considered as A here, and here not A or A. Using this formula, not A or A. It is of this form. This is of this form. Okay, it is of this form. So not A or A is true. So finally, we get this statement to be true. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear? Hello. Okay, now what you have to do is, you have to write down the step numbers 1. This is step number 2. After writing down this answer, the third is step number 3. Then you have step number 4. Okay, next is step number 5. The next is step number 6. And this is step number 7. Now you have to write down which all formulas you had used. In this side, you have to write down the formulas which you had used here. You have to write it down here. Okay. Is it clear? For deriving each step, the formula which you had used. Is it clear? Is it clear? Okay. So that was the 7th question. Then, I think that was your 6th question. Okay. Next, write down this question. Prove the following equivalence by proving the equivalence of the duals. Prove the following equivalence by proving the equivalence of the duals. This is your 7th question. Okay. This is your 7th question. I had left one question in between, that's why this is 8. This is your 7th question. Okay. So prove the following equivalence by proving the equivalence of the duals. Did you write down the question? Did you write down the question? Okay. So, what is the question? What does that question mean? Prove the equivalence. Prove the equivalence by proving that. What is to be proved? You have to prove that the equivalence of the duals. You have to take the dual and prove the equivalence. Okay. So, write down the question. Not of not P and Q, or not P and not Q in one bracket, or P and Q is logically equivalent to P. So this is the question. Write down this question. Now you have to prove this by proving that their equivalence, the equivalence of their duals, isn't it? So write the dual. Write the dual of the statement. As you know, there are no other logical connectors. This is only an equivalence symbol. So you can use as it is. We have two propositions on the left hand side. This is the LHS, this is the RHS. So write the duals of the LHS and RHS, and this symbol simply means that they are equivalent. Okay. So now writing the duals, you get wherever you have a connector and you convert it to or, and wherever you have or, you convert it into and. Clear? So write the duals. If there is a connector or, you convert it into and. If there is a connector and, you convert it into or. Is it clear? And in the right hand side, there are no connectors except one preposition P, so you write as it is. This symbol, it is only an indication that the two sides are equivalent. Is it clear? Now again, you have to take the LHS, the left hand side, and prove that it is equal to the RHS. Okay, take the left hand side. You are going to start from the left hand side and prove that you will get, finally you will get the RHS. Okay, you are going to prove that this left hand side of the dual, starting from left hand side, you will derive P. Is it clear? Is it clear? Hello? Are you listening? Okay, actually, okay. Now, we have written the LHS first here, isn't it? LHS is written as such. Now, how can you solve it? How can you solve it? How will you solve it? See, look at this part. You can see that it is same as distributive law, isn't it? There is a conjunction, and on either side of the conjunction you have disjunctions. The first element is the same, second element is different, isn't it? You can see that there is disjunction on either side, isn't it? Here you have a disjunction. So to apply distributive law, you can see to this bracket you are going to apply distributive law, and here you can see that here you have a disjunction, here you have a disjunction, and in between them we have a conjunction. So you can apply this, and the first variable is the same. Here you have the first variable not P, here also it not P, the other Q and not Q, we are not bothered. So applying the distributive law, you get to this part, you are applying distributive law to this section, you get not P or Q and not Q. When you expand this, you will get this one. Okay, you have applied distributive law, and then the rest of the part is written as such here. And here, the negation here also is written as such. Then, not P or Q and not Q. What is Q and not Q? You can use inverse law and solve Q and not Q as F. Q and not Q is F. So the remaining is written as such, not P or, and this Q and not Q becomes F here, and this is also the same. We have only changed Q and not Q. Okay. Now, not P or F. What is not P or F? You can apply identity law to this part, and you get not P or F is not P. That is, P or F is P. So not P or F is not P, and this not is still there. Okay, so I hope you understood this. Not of not P is you are applying double negation law, and you will get P here, and finally P and P or Q is P by absorption law. Okay, so okay, now say your attendance, please.
One,
Say your attendance, please.
2, 3, 6,
5,
7,
8,
10,
11. Number 11, Anjita.
12,
Okay, 12.
13,
14. Number 14, Arunima. Arunima. Okay, present. Number 15,
15,
16, absent. Ashwant. Then 17, 17. Okay, next.
18,
19, 19, Aswal. Absent. 20,
Andy,
Ara? 19, okay, present. Then 20.
20,
Next. 21, Ashwadi VK. Okay, 20 present. Next, 21. 21, absent.
22,
22.
23,
24.
25,
24, 24
25.
absent.
26,
Okay.
7,
Okay. Okay. 28 absent. 29. Okay, 29. Next 30.
31,
32,
33. Number 33. Kiran. Absent. 34.
34,
35,
36. 37.
37,
38.
38,
39. 40. Then 41.
41,
42,
41. Number 41.
41,
Okay. Next.
42,
Okay. 43.
43,
43.
Ma'am, 43,
Okay, okay. 43 present, 44 present, 45,
45,
46,
46,
47,
48,
49,
50, 50, absent, 51,
51,
52,
56,
okay,
54,
54,
55,
56,
57,
58,
59,
61,
61,
62,
63.
63,
Okay, absent is number 50, 28,
28
24,
present,
24, 21, 16. Okay, thank you.